So President Trump came up with a new name for Gavin Newsom when he had a press conference at the southern border in Texas this week with Greg Abbott. He called him Gavin Newscum, Governor Newscum, right? He said, isn't that his name, Newscum? And this story here, this is in Breitbart, and this is insane. In what world does a governor do what Gavin Newscum did and it not be like the talk of the nation in the news? Listen to this. This is in Peter Schweizer's new book, which I'm reading, Blood Money. Gavin Newsom partnered with the Triad-linked businessman. Now, the Triad is the Chinese mob, and the Triad are the ones that are bringing the fentanyl in the United States to the southern border. Gavin Newsom partnered with Triad-linked businessman on an initiative that brought the Chinese mafia-linked businesses to California. It says here, on an endeavor that brought Chinese mafia-linked businesses to California's Bay Area when Governor Newsom served as the mayor of San Francisco, is detailed in Peter Schweizer's new book, Blood Money. In Blood Money, Schweitzer reveals that Newscum has had links to Chinese organized crime through his connections to known Triad members, and that these connections go beyond the China-San Francisco initiative that Newsom launched in 2008 to bring Chinese businesses to San Francisco. Peter Schweitzer in Blood Money says that Newsom has skirted addressing China's role in the fentanyl trade that has killed so many Californians. And, you know, this is crazy. This.
Well, if he's connected to the Chinese mob, who else do you think is connected?
All the Democrats.
Well, especially one in particular.
Oh, Biden.
He's related to.
Oh, Nancy Pelosi.
I mean, she's in San Francisco.
Yeah.
That's her district. He was the mayor of San Francisco. Obviously, she had something to do with that. So I'm sure she has some connections as well.
Yeah. No, there's no doubt about it.
There's a huge Asian. I've been to San Francisco. There's a huge Chinatown's huge. I went there. It was amazing. I went in 1983. Sure, it's maybe different. I don't know, but it was pretty cool back then. And there were no feces on the streets. I know that. And there's a huge, obviously, Asian community out in California. Yeah. San Francisco definitely has a huge Chinese culture. So, is this how it is with all politicians? Do they all have to do business with these kind of people, or
they choose to?
If you're just a mayor of a big city, I'm sure. Did Mayor Pete have these kind of connections when he was the mayor in Idaho?
South Bend.
No, I mean, so I think it obviously has a lot to do with the city he's in and things like that. But this book seems very revealing.
Well, and Newsom, I mean, this is a direct link that Newsom has to the Chinese mafia.
Right.
And they're talking about replacing Biden with Newsom. Now we know why. You know, China owns Biden, so China is saying, hey, plug in Newsom.
Well, something interesting is happening. I was reading, Steve Garvey. You didn't even know who Steve Garvey was. That's how little you know about sports. Steve Garvey was a huge baseball player when we were kids. And my brothers were always watching baseball. The Cincinnati Reds was their team, and they were big baseball fans, my two brothers. So we were always watching baseball games in my house. And so I knew who Steve Garvey was, and good-looking guy. He's running for Senate against Adam Schiff.
Yeah.
And
I know who Steve Garvey is.
He's a conservative. I think he says he's like a moderate conservative, whatever, but he's definitely conservative. He hasn't come out and endorsed Trump or anything like that. I think he's just, that I know of. I think he's just trying to kind of stay away from that right now, but he's definitely conservative on issues with the border and all this stuff. And now he is beating Schiff in a new poll by 2 points.
Yeah.
People in California need to stop voting across the board for Democrats, or your state is never going to change. Things are never going to change. And I think that this election, you're going to see a huge shift in the power play because of the border issue. The border problem is affecting everybody, thanks to Greg Abbott. But it's interesting that Steve Garvey is now, there's a couple videos of them debating each other, and it's very good. It gets very heated. And Adam Schiff, I watched one video attack Steve Garvey, just went on and on and on and on. And then Steve Garvey said, well, you lied to the American people about Russiagate, so I'm going to leave it right there. And that was it. Mic drop, boom. And he said nothing. And he said, so he lies. He's a liar. But that'll be an interesting race to watch. For sure.
Adam Schiff.
They need to get rid of that guy. He's scum.
Adam Schiff, he has a house here in our area that we live in Florida. And he's here a lot on the weekends. And where, you guys that watch me in the mornings and listen to me on the radio, at the radio station at the radio studio I used to be at, not the one I'm at now, okay? But the radio studio that I used to be at was right down the street from where Adam Schiff lived. And when he was in town, he had security like he was president of the United States. And his security people, he had a lot of them. They for whatever reason, they wouldn't park. This is Adam Schiff security. They wouldn't park their cars in the community where Adam Schiff lives. They would park their cars at the radio station building. Oops. And everything's falling apart here. And I didn't talk about this at the time because we were located there and everything else. So you guys are hearing about this for the first time. And Adam Schiff's security detail are just as arrogant as he is. And they would park at in the radio station parking lot. And it's a nice sized parking lot because it's an office building, right? They would park their cars there, and then they would carpool to Adam Schiff's place. They would park their cars. This is how arrogant they are. Mm-hmm. In all the spaces right in the front of the building. Yeah. So those of us that worked in the building, and it wasn't just us at the radio station, there were other offices there. We would have to park at the far end of the parking lot. They were just arrogant. It's a whole thing with these liberals. Yeah. These people that are the permanent Washington class, even their security, they think that they are royalty. They think that they're a nobility class, and we are just peasants to do their bidding. But in California, you guys in California, people are fed up around this country, and even in California. And I'm not saying that Republicans can win California as a state, but I think Republicans could have more victories in California than they do. I think a lot of conservatives just feel it's a waste of time to vote.
Yeah, they have to change that attitude. They just don't even bother voting.
I understand.
Same in New York.
I understand in California not wanting to be an out-of-the-closet like Republican. Like I walk around with my MAGA hat all the time here in Florida. I understand you're not wanting when I was in Los Angeles, my daughter said, we went to Hollywood to go to Trump's star on the Walk of Fame. Our daughter and other people said it's not safe to wear your MAGA hat down here. So I put the MAGA hat on when I took the pictures with the Trump star.
Well, probably because there's a lot of illegals there too. So
yeah, and a lot of
wouldn't like that.
Yeah, the liberals on there are pretty nasty.
Yeah.
And when I put the MAGA hat on and took the picture on Trump's star, people were looking at me like I was nuts. It was a little weird. But I understand you're not wanting to be an out-of-the-closet conservative in California, but when you go in that voting booth, who knows what you're voting for?
That's right.
You can let them think you're voting Democrat,
exactly.
Right? And I remember years ago, the Democrats were pushing this initiative that when you would vote, you would get a receipt, and it would show how you voted. And the reason Democrats were pushing for that is they wanted to be able to intimidate people. And, you got the union boss outside. He wants to check the receipt. You know what I mean? If the receipt says – so once you go in that voting booth, nobody knows who you voted for. Tell them you vote Democrat if you're afraid or or you're afraid of intimidation or harassment, and vote Republican. Republicans can win in California, and the way things are going right now, you may find that California votes Republican in a presidential election.
I would love to see Steve Garvey win. But I don't have too much faith in all that, but I'd love to see him beat Adam Schiff. That would be that's definitely a race. Yeah. I'll be watching. Would it be great if he won and Carrie Lake won?
Oh my goodness, it'd be great.
That'd be something.
Now about a week or so ago, maybe 2 weeks ago, when in the last couple weeks, a story came out that Joe Scarborough talks to Joe Biden nightly.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah, that's like his favorite show, his morning show.
They talk every night. Now, nighttime to Biden may be 5:30 in the afternoon. I don't know. But it was reported, and there was no denials of it, that Joe Scarborough talks to Joe Biden every night before bed.
Why do you think that's his favorite show? Because I know why.
He probably has a thing for Mika Biden.
No, because all he does is bash Trump.
Oh, yeah, that too.
All day, the whole show is them just bashing Trump, and Biden probably just loves to watch that.
So since that story came out, obviously I don't watch Morning Joe because Morning Joe is on when I'm on in the morning. So I don't watch that show. But I do see clips like on Twitter, on X, And since that story came out, that Morning Joe is Joe Biden's favorite show. He watches it every morning, and Joe Scarborough talks to Biden every night. Joe Scarborough does a show talking to Biden. He's talking to him on the show.
Well,
The things he
he's
does,
definitely influencing,
He's playing to Biden, and I want to play this exchange.
For sure.
This is from this morning, and these two are nuts.
Yeah,
this
they're like
is
best friends.
This is Joe Scarborough and his wife, the very bizarre Mika Brzezinski, who's a lunatic. And this is today's show. And I don't have to set it up. Listen to this.
Why do people are actually voting? Is there really one person voting for that guy? How stupid would you have to be?
Them talking at the same time, it's kind of like when you sing row, row, row your boat, you start the second thing, row, row, row your boat gently, and then somebody else says row, 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 and then you're both singing at the same time. That's kind of like what they're doing here.
He can't complete a sentence. He can't.
Now, keep in mind, he's talking about Trump.
Yeah, they're trying. Well, this is definitely Biden influencing him.
Yeah, so what Joe and Mika are trying to do here is tell you that Biden is with it. It's Donald Trump that is suffering from dementia.
Right. We have it all backwards.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
This guy, how stupid would you have to be? He can't complete a sentence. He can't complete a thought. He talks about Crooked Joe is the blood of countless victims. This is vicious violation. I mean, he just
does he even think about what he's going to say? Does somebody give him a little piece of paper or something? Because that's clear. He doesn't even think.
Well, but I think I really don't know, Willie. Maybe you can give us some insight on it. But he looks so lost and confused. He jumbles his words. He tries to read a little bit.
He's trying to be nasty.
He's talking about Trump, not Biden, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, Willie. Maybe you can give us some insight on it. But he looks so lost and confused. He jumbles his words. He tries to read a little bit.
He's trying to be nasty.
And then, trying to be nasty. But when he does that 5th grade or really 5-year-old taunt, Newscomb? Is that his name, Newscomb? I mean, talk about losing about 18 miles off your fastball. Yeah. I mean, this guy's pitching 72 miles an hour down the middle of the plate. I mean, it's not good. And again, I just have to bring it up. He's lying, as he always does when he talks about the border. When he ran and was talking about the border wall, Barack Obama and Joe Biden had illegal border crossings on the southern border at a 50-year low. He's just
this is what you call,
that's just propaganda right there.
This is what you call a useful idiot.
Yeah, exactly.
Joe Biden is manipulating him every night.
Yeah.
Mika and Joe Scarborough love to have that access to the White House. They kissed Trump's ass when he was first president. They love to be connected to the president. They love that power. And now that Biden is president, he's kissing his ass. And this is Joe Biden manipulating him and Mika very successfully.
Yeah.
And that's what you call a useful idiot. Two useful idiots right there.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you said this to me, this is gaslighting, pure and simple. Yeah. For them to sit there and tell you that Trump is the one that's mentally diminished when everybody knows that's definitely not true.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, there are natural things that happen when you age. I mean, Brian even forgets my name. He called me Nina the other day, talking about called me the dog's name. I mean, that kind of stuff. I do that too.
I call the dog our daughter's name too.
Yeah, I mean, that's just normal stuff.
I have a lot on my mind
to because Trump called Melania Mercedes. That is normal.
Which, by the way, that's not true. When President Trump was speaking, Mercedes Schlapp walked into the room.
Yeah, that's what I
was saying
exactly.
Hi to her. He didn't call Melania Mercedes.
I think, has a little ADHD. And he will be talking, and then it's like squirrel, and then his thoughts go to what he sees in his peripheral vision, he jumps around a bit, but that doesn't mean he's mentally diminished.
No, I don't think he has
that just
ADHD.
means his brain is going 100 miles an hour.
This is what's going on, okay? When somebody that is successful as Donald Trump,
he's got a million things happening in his head.
You know, there's a lot going on in his head. He was in court today.
Yeah, exactly.
And Fort Pierce in the documents case.
Joe Biden has nothing going on.
He's running
in
a
his
campaign.
head.
Fannie Willis has added over $100 million more to his fine. He's got all these
so you're getting confused like Trump.
Letitia.
Like Joe Biden.
Letitia James. Letitia James added another $100 million to his. So he's got a lot on his mind.
He's just got a lot on his mind.
And when he's publicly speaking, he's not using written speeches.
Well, yeah, and when that happens, when you have a lot on your mind, you can misspeak sometimes, which everybody does. Everybody does. That is not what's going on with Joe Biden.
No.
It's a marked difference. And for them to go on here and try to convince you that Trump is really the one who has dementia is hilarious.
Now, I want to share this. This is Nikki Haley today. And Nikki Haley, she's detailing her campaign strategy and why she's still in the race. Listen.
Oh, my goodness.
But I think it's important that all of that come out now so that we're not dealing with it later. I think he's hoping it comes out later so that he can make it all go away. But either way, we've got a problem on our hands. I mean, chaos follows Donald Trump wherever he goes. We continue to see this play out. And we can't be a country in disarray and a world on fire and go through 4 more years of chaos. We won't survive it.
How much
I don't know what she's talking about. We're in chaos right now.
To get resolved before November, regardless or not.
I just think they need to do things quickly. Yeah. If it's hearing a case, do it quickly. If it's an appeal, do it quickly.
Okay. So what she's saying here, we'll talk about the chaos in a second. What she's saying here is lock Trump up, do it quickly, so that I can get the nomination at the convention. So she wants Trump locked up. Now, this thing about chaos, the reason there's chaos with Trump that you don't have with other presidents, which really isn't true, is because he's not part of the controlled government
the media
like the others.
Creates the chaos.
So they can't control him. So it seems chaotic because he's not doing, like Biden, he's doing the will of China or something. He's not doing what the donors want.
Well, all the chaos
so it seems chaotic.
Is stemming from these political attacks that Trump is not initiating. He's not initiating the chaos.
But you know what, though? They say that, he brings chaos. There's not chaos with others. I mean, you go back to these other presidents. The Democrats and the media wanted to try George Bush in the world court for war crimes for Iraq. When Ronald Reagan walked out of a summit meeting in Iceland with Gorbachev, the Soviets, the Democrats wanted to impeach Ronald Reagan. Okay, so the Democrats have, no matter who the Republican is, they look what they did to Richard Nixon. They drove him out of office, right?
Yep.
So no matter who the Republican president is, the Democrats are always doing scummy things against them. It seems chaotic, but this is just how it is.
And the media thrives
president.
off chaos. They have to create it to keep people interested.
Yeah.
And clicks and views. So they're going to create an environment of that. Yeah. They're going to help facilitate that.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I want to remind everyone that the free shipping with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane, continues site-wide at mypillow.com. In fact, I just got a message a little while ago from Mike Lindell's assistant, reminded me of that the free shipping continues and you get the special deals, okay, on the site. So and this is site-wide, no matter how large, no matter how small the purchase, it's free shipping with our promo code Kane at checkout, Kane at mypillow.com. I'm Brian, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. We'll be back right after this.
Are you feeling stuck in your current job? Are you dreaming of a career that offers good pay, flexibility, freedom, and the opportunity for career advancement? You can find everything you're looking for in the hidden job market with the Master Mentor Guides. With the Master Guide to Commercial Inspections, in just 12 weeks, you could begin a new career as a commercial inspector. Commercial inspectors play a vital role within the commercial finance industry. With the Master Guide to Residential Insurance Field Inspections, you can become a residential insurance inspector in just 9 weeks. weeks. Before an insurance policy is issued, you'll be the one who ensures everything is up to standard, identifying potential issues that could affect the policy. Over the past 30 years, Master Mentor Guides have transformed the careers of hundreds of people just like you, turning their dull, dead-end jobs into thriving, rewarding careers. What are you waiting for? Make that career transition and visit residentialinsuranceconsultant.com. There, you'll discover how you can start your journey towards a career with longevity, flexibility, and freedom. The Master Mentor Guide to Commercial Inspections and Master Guide to Residential Insurance Field Inspections are your keys to unlocking your new future. What are you waiting for? Go right now to residentialinsuranceconsultant.com and start living the life that you and your family deserve. residentialinsuranceconsultant.com. Discover the heartbeat of Detroit with Damaged Friendships, a unique streetwear brand that goes beyond fashion. The pieces are more than just clothing. They're stories woven from the heart. Damaged Friendships believe in repairing broken bonds and creating pieces that resonate with your essence. Each garment carries the weight of a story worth sharing, and Damaged Friendships is here to help you articulate yours. Their passion is forged into every stitch, making each piece timeless. From hoodies to beanies, joggers to tees and shorts, explore the unique collection at damagedfriendships.com. Connect with them on Instagram at RealBDon and DamagedFriendships.co, and on TikTok at Damaged Friendships. At damagedfriendships.com, not only will you find incredible items for yourself, but the perfect gifts too. Embrace the story and start shopping at damagedfriendships.com with pieces created from the heart. Are you tired of the endless search for affordable contact lenses? Well, your search is over. Say hello to LoveMyContacts.com, where premium vision meets unbeatable prices. LoveMyContacts.com isn't just any contact lens retailer. Love My Contacts are powered by real optometrists and vision experts. Yes, that's right. Experts who know eyes and care about yours, ensuring you get the best fit from brands you trust, like AccuView, Bausch & Lomb, Alcon, and CooperVision. And guess what? With LoveMyContacts.com's easy subscription service, forget about running low on contacts ever again. Just set it, forget it, and let your lenses come to you. Don't have your prescription handy? No problem. LoveMyContacts.com will retrieve it from your doctor's office, making your experience as seamless as possible. They have the most popular contacts at the best prices too, like AccuView Oasis, the Infuse, and Dailies. It's time to experience the LoveMyContacts.com difference. Visit the site right now, LoveMyContacts.com, and step into a world where quality meets convenience at prices you'll love. LoveMyContacts.com.
You are listening to The Brian Craig Show podcast, broadcasting from sunny South Florida. Brian is joined by his wife and co-host, Kathy. Follow Brian on social media at BrianCraigShow.com. And now, Brian and Kathy.
We're back, everyone. I'm Brian, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. Okay, now this story in the Daily Mail, I talked about this when this first happened. I said something's fishy with this. Something stinks with this. Now, Mitch McConnell stepped down as majority leader yesterday, and I told something's up with that. These guys never stepped down and all this stuff. And his Chinese sister-in-law died in a car accident recently in Texas, and now it's under criminal investigation. Let me share this. This is in the Daily Mail, and this probably has a lot to do with, and probably everything to do with Mitch McConnell and his big move to give up the leadership position.
Yeah, I mean, that's a strange coincidence.
The next day this came out.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is in the Daily Mail. Cops in Texas have said that the car crash that killed Mitch McConnell's sister-in-law, Angela Chow, is under criminal investigation. Chow, who was the CEO of shipping company Foremost Group, died earlier this month after her car entered a body of water on a private ranch in the state. Police have now said that the death of the 50-year-old is currently under criminal investigation. CNBC is also reporting this. In a letter to the Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton, the Blanco County Sheriff's Office said this incident was not a typical accident.
Oh, boy.
Although the preliminary investigation indicated this was an unfortunate accident, the Sheriff's Office is still investigating this accident as a criminal matter until they have sufficient evidence to rule out criminal activity. No further details on what kind of criminality may have befallen Chow were shared. Chow was found dead shortly after midnight on February 11th after her car was pulled out of a pond. I tell you, the press today, it doesn't say after her car was pulled out of a pond. It says after her call, C-A-L-L, they wrote in this article, not car.
Yeah, there's a lot of illiterate people writing articles.
And this was the second time. Earlier in the article, there was something similar to that. I just didn't stop down on it. Yeah. After her call, C-A-L-L, was pulled out of a pond. Oh, my goodness. On a ranch in Johnson City, around 40 miles from Austin. See, we have illiterate people in the news. The Austin American-Statesman reported that teams fought to pull Chow out of the vehicle on the ranch for over an hour. In a report obtained by the outlet, fire officials said the deputies were in the water standing on what they believed was the vehicle, trying to gain access to the victim inside. Deputies remained...
Wait a minute. They stood on the vehicle for an hour?
Well, there might have been an air pocket. They thought there might have been an air pocket inside the car. If the windows are up, like Mary Jo Kopechne died of suffocation, they believe there was an air pocket in there. Mm-hmm. Deputies remained in the water while crews set up lighting to aid in the rescue. A tow truck was also brought in to pull the vehicle out. Officials had to use tools to break the windows and pull Chow from the vehicle, where they delivered life support for 43 minutes after they pulled her out. So there must have been an air pocket. The ranch where Chow died is owned by a corporate group that is connected to her husband, who has an American name. I guess both of the Chinese Chow girls married American influencers, Due to her death remaining the subject of a criminal probe, the sheriff's office said the 9/11 logs and audio could not be released at this time. So we don't have those. The letter went on to say to ask the Attorney General for his opinion on whether records should be kept from the public. The sheriff's office originally said EMS attempted emergency measures on Mrs. Chow, but she succumbed from being under the water. Our preliminary has determined this to be an unfortunate accident. The investigation's ongoing, but now they say they performed CPR for 43 minutes. That's a long time.
That is a very long time.
Have you ever heard of that? 43 minutes?
That's quite a long time.
If they pulled her out and she was dead, they wouldn't have done it for 43 minutes. They would have just said she's dead.
I don't know about that.
43 minutes? That's a long time. You ever seen CPR done on somebody, like for real?
I don't know how the
it's
protocol.
Pretty intense.
I know. I don't know the protocol anymore.
I've seen it. It's pretty intense, and it's exhausting too.
Yeah, no, it is.
Yeah, so now
that's a long time to do CPR.
Oh yeah, 43 minutes.
Yeah, that's a long time
on the scene. Something's up with that. And when he made his announcement yesterday, they had said in the story that something about his sister-in-law factored into this. It's something she was murdered. Is what that would mean.
So why would he resign over that? Where's your mind going with that?
Mitch McConnell is obviously works for the Chinese, right? And his wife is his handler,
right,
for the CCP. And my guess would be that China's not happy with Mitch McConnell's performance, and they want him out. Just like years ago, Harry Reid cost them control, and they got rid of Harry Reid. Remember, he fell on his Stairmaster or something, or a treadmill at home. Had that
eye patch or something.
All of a sudden, he had a black eye. All of a sudden, he said he fell down on his
and somebody roughed him up.
Yeah, exactly. So I think the Chinese want Mitch McConnell out. He's not performing. He's underperforming. They're losing.
So you think this was like a warning?
Well, China hates Trump and MAGA, and MAGA's taken over.
Well, Trump's a threat.
And Mitch McConnell was supposed to stop Trump, and he's been unsuccessful. And another thing too.
Yeah.
I think Mitch McConnell's out. I think it's a Chinese decision, but I think a lot of things factored in, and I think part of it was Trump taking over the RNC from the Republican establishment. The Chinese and all, they're not happy with that.
So if they forced him out, what's their plan B? They're going to need somebody to take his place.
Oh, they probably have 5 other agents at least in the Senate. They'll just pass it on to someone else. You know what I mean? And I'm sure they have guys up and coming. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure of it, and I'm curious to see. He's up for re-election in the next midterms. Okay,
he might not run again.
No, he may
retire.
He may resign when the election's over. He may stay there for now, and then when the election's over, he may resign. He does, and I mean, and believe me, he's not resigning because he wants to. It's not because of his health. I know he had some bad moments a while ago. Yeah, they all he does is vote yay or nay. They don't, there's something in play here.
Yeah,
he's been forced out, and I believe China. I mean, this guy, he is Mitch McConnell is one of, and he's always has been, even when he was young. He is one of the most physically disgusting men in America. And Elaine Chao, his wife, she's an average, not a bad-looking woman, average-looking woman. You know, she comes from a very wealthy family. Mm-hmm. She's not married to Mitch McConnell for his looks.
Well, no.
He was one of these,
or his physique.
Exactly. He was one of those guys that they plucked and recruited. And he's been an agent for the CCP. I don't know for how long. And that's what you guys can let me know in the comments what you all think about that, but that's what I think. And nothing could change my mind. Now, Jean-Pierre had a press conference today. Listen to this. She's a real beaut. Listen to this. This is Jean-Pierre.
What the president is wants to do, and what you will hear during the State of the Union, is that he'll lay out his historic achievements over the past 3 years and what he's been able to do on behalf of the American people. You'll hear him talk about how he is on the side of the American people. That's important. The president has done more in 3 years in this administration than most presidents has done in 2 terms.
He's done more in 3 years than most presidents have done in 2 terms.
Whatever.
And you know what's scary to me? She believes that.
Maybe she means he's done more bad in 3 years than most presidents have done. Okay, so I have news just breaking. Trump must come up with the full bond amount to cover the $454 million civil trial judgment. An appeals court judge ruled. This came out Wednesday.
Yeah, well, no. He wants to come up with the bond. He wants to stop.
I don't know why that just showed up in the feed. That's
what he wants is the interest to stop accruing. Put up the bond and stop this interest.
Okay. It's never mind then.
It's like at $500 million now.
Yeah, I know. It's crazy.
I mean, give me a break. You could build a space shuttle for what this fine is. I mean, give me a break. Now on The View today, the coven of The View, and if you don't know what a coven is, Google it and you'll get a chuckle, okay?
People know what a coven is.
Yeah, I know. But I want to savor a little bit because they are definitely a bunch of witches. Mm-hmm. A lot of people don't know this, because Kathy and I are Floridians, and we have Florida dialects, and witches is actually it's spelled with a B, not a W. But because of our Florida dialect, we say witches.
I got you.
Like in California, they say rodeo instead of rodeo. So we say witches, but witches is spelled with a B.
Gotcha.
So anyway, the coven of The View, this comment is too stupid for even The View. And Whoopi Goldberg,
she's got a mohawk now.
I have not listened to this whole clip. And I'm curious if Sunny Hostin comes in to correct her. I don't know. We'll find out.
Whoopi Goldberg, I'm looking at her. She is culturally appropriating Native American hairstyles now.
Yeah, she is.
If you look at her, she looks like Geronimo.
Yeah, and she also likes to appropriate for her clothing curtains and such. I don't know what that's all about.
Like Scarlett O'Hara.
She doesn't look like Scarlett O'Hara, but she's, and
her hair is ridiculous. And I'm serious. It's shaved on the side. She looks like an Indian warrior.
Yeah, she does.
With this hairdo. And I don't think she's Native American.
And, the thing, Whoopi Goldberg.
Sitting bull here.
What The View has done to Whoopi Goldberg used to be like a beloved comedian. She was very funny.
I always liked her movies.
She got an Oscar in Ghost. She organized that thing with Robin Williams and Billy Crystal for
Comic Relief.
Comic Relief for homeless people she was helping. And she gets on The View.
Yeah, and she turns into a nasty witch.
And she just gets so rude. And she says something so insane. Listen to this. This is Whoopi Goldberg on The View today.
Well, the Supreme Court won't hear oral arguments until the end of April. Now, let's look at a scenario where the Supreme Court says, yes, he has that. He has all those rights. He is immune from everything. Yeah. You know what Joe Biden could do since he is presently president? What? Whoa. He could throw it.
Okay, now at this point,
oh my goodness,
when she says what Biden could do, she has picked up a piece of paper and she is reading what she's about to say from a piece of paper.
Yeah, somebody gave her this to read.
So someone gave her this to tell her, this is a presidential power. Listen to this.
The Supreme Court says, yes, he has that. He has all those rights. He is immune from everything. Yeah. You know what Joe Biden could do since he is presently president? What? Whoa. He could throw every Republican in jail. Yeah, I mean, he could.
I don't know where she gets this idea. What you can, first off, presidents do not have arrest powers. They're not police officers.
Who is Trump thrown in jail?
She said Biden could.
No, but she's acting like Trump is throwing people in jail.
And notice what she said. Well, I'll play the rest. I have not listened beyond this point.
Trump's point is not that he's immune from.
No, she's not talking about Trump. She's talking about you and me. She's saying that Biden.
No, but she's referencing Trump being declared immune from January 6th thing.
She is saying that Joe Biden has the authority to put in jail, arrest and put in jail every registered Republican in America. She's not talking about Trump. She's talking about us.
That's a new one.
And I'll go back. I've not listened beyond that point. Sunny Hostin is an attorney.
Well, she's a moron.
So I'm curious if she corrects Whoopi on this.
Presently president? What? Whoa. He could throw every Republican in jail. Yeah, I mean, he could. I mean, no. This is not a good thing because he can go. What this means is he can do anything. Yeah, he could dismiss everybody's debt. Yeah, you know, there's a whole bunch of great stuff that could happen. But let's read.
By the way, he can't excuse everyone's debt. The student loan debt relief, which should not be done, and many say is not constitutional. That's federal loans that the federal government gave out. He can't cancel debt. Like if you have a credit card, he can't cancel the debt you owe on your credit card. Like if you have a credit card from the Home Depot, right? Biden can't all of a sudden say all credit card debt is forgiven. You do not have to pay back your credit cards.
No,
he does not have that
kind of power.
What is she reading from? Whoopi Goldberg.
Well, she's an idiot.
I mean, how stupid. I mean, she's really embarrassing herself.
I mean, he could. I mean, no. This is not a good thing because he can go. What this means is he can do anything. Yeah, he could dismiss everybody's debt. Yeah, you know, there's a whole bunch of great stuff that could happen. But let's really look at what this means. Yeah.
So they're basically kicking the can down the road, though. They're not taking up this case immediately.
Right.
So what's their motivation then? If we all
see now what Joy Behar's trying to do here. Joy Behar knows that Whoopi Goldberg sounds incredibly stupid.
Yeah.
So Joy Behar's trying to change the discussion. She's trying to save Whoopi.
The blind leading the blind.
Yeah, she's trying to get Whoopi Goldberg off this stupidity. She said that Biden can arrest every registered Republican in America.
I don't know if Joy Behar's that bright.
Oh, yeah. You
You're
can tell
giving her too much credit.
She was like, yeah. She was like,
No, that they can't do what you just said because of the extreme power that a president would have. Right. What is their motivation for not doing it right away?
Well, unfortunately.
Okay, I take back everything I just said. She's asking why have they not arrested all the Republicans?
I told you she's not that
you're right.
bright.
No, I was completely wrong. You're right, Kathy. She has no lot of liquor sense. Joy Behar. No, I was wrong. Yeah. I guess I was thinking what I would do if I had somebody that I was friends with that was embarrassing.
Well, the difference is you have a brain in your head that works.
Exactly.
Some people are saying the motivation is that there are certain conservative justices that have been appointed by Trump that want to help him. And because we know the end result
is the new narrative.
This case is not resolved by the time of the election, and he, God forbid, becomes the president of the United States.
Poo-poo.
The Justice Department policy is that you cannot indict nor put on trial a sitting president, right? And so it's his get out of jail.
Throw him in jail.
But it's his get out of jail free card.
No, I'm saying Biden could throw.
Yeah,
See, this is a slippery slope because if they give him this immunity,
what's good for the goose
what I also will say is they're listening to these
sense.
Arguments in April. The end of their term is in June, right? They return again, I believe, in October. The Bush v. Gore case happened real quick. Do you remember that? The Supreme Court knows how to work real fast.
That was
Okay. Yeah, that was instant. But Sunny Hostin.
That had to be quick because the whole country was in limbo.
We had no president.
And there was no president, and they wanted to get it done before the inauguration.
Yeah, there was the inauguration.
I mean, there was a rush for that.
The inauguration was right around the corner.
Yeah, that had to be rushed.
And the sitting president, their term is up at noontime on Inauguration Day.
That had to go.
So we weren't going to have a president. It was a little different.
Yeah.
But Sunny Hostin, she tried to do a little bit of save there at the end. And you know this is what's crazy to me, that women it doesn't have to be women, it could be anyone. people that are as stupid as Whoopi Goldberg and Joy Behar, who thinks that the president can arrest every person who's registered in a political party they don't like, and they don't even see themselves, this is like the Red Scare. The Red Scare wasn't putting the communist in jail. It just was preventing them from working. They want to have gulags. They want to have Republican gulags on The View. These are some real sick women.
Yeah, they are.
That show, The View, has been on for like 30 years.
Yeah.
And the people, no one is on it now.
Brian, because they don't have any other perspective than that one. That's the world they live in.
The View cast has changed over the years. Joy Behar might have been there in the beginning. I'm not sure.
She was in the beginning, and then she left. They fired her, and then they brought her back.
But the original cast...
She was part of the original cast.
Other than Joy Behar is long gone.
Yep.
But no matter who is...
Remember, it was Meredith Vieira.
A bunch of people.
Yeah, Barbara Walters, obviously.
But no matter who the cast has been on The View for the last, almost 30 years, it's always been a poisonous place of stupid women on this show talking about things they don't understand.
Well, two women that were on The View that do not agree politically, Meghan McCain and Rosie O'Donnell. And I read a book about The View behind the scenes. I can't remember the name of it. They both said it's toxic and that it's a horrible place to work. Both Rosie and Meghan McCain. Yeah. And this book I read on The View, I can't remember, it was like a tell-all, also talked about how it was very toxic. You have 5 women here that are, egomaniacal. Women can be just as egomaniacal as men. And Meghan McCain said that the producers definitely dictate what the tone is, what you say. And that's why you have Farrah, who worked for Trump, just throwing him under the bus constantly because she wants to keep her job. And she knows if she goes out there and defends Trump like that Sarah girl, she's on her way out, because I've heard her defend Trump a couple times in the last few weeks, like clips. And I'm telling you, they've had a talking to her. Yeah. They've had a talking to her, and that's going to stop if she wants to keep her job.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why you have to take those kinds of shows with a grain of salt. Everybody has, that they have their agenda, and it's an anti-Trump agenda.
That's right.
And Whoopi Goldberg's she's just stupid. I mean, she's just a dumb actress. I mean, actresses are dumb.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, we're going to take our last break. Don't go anywhere. We got a lot more to discuss. We'll be back right after this.
Do you feel yourself constantly running and hiding from judgment? Do you fear what others might see if they really looked at you? From the fear of being labeled unintelligent to the dread of being in the spotlight, judgment can feel like a decree that seals our very fate with disapproval. But there is a way to confront this psychological bully head on with the book Overcome Your Fear of Judgment from the Self-Help Doc. Overcome Your Fear of Judgment will get to the heart of your social anxiety. It will guide you through planting new empowering seeds into your mind. Overcome Your Fear of Judgment will help you battle the feelings of invisibility and the glare of too much attention from your perceived flaws. It's perfect for those who feel compelled to hide from the world and even from themselves. Overcome Your Fear of Judgment is a masterclass in shifting perspectives and transforming mindsets. This book is perfect for teens and adults alike who are struggling with self-consciousness and offers practical, actionable solutions for taking back your power and freeing your mind from the self-erected barriers that are holding you back. Overcome Your Fear of Judgment from the Self-Help Doc is available on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and all major online booksellers. Order your copy right now and unlock the true you. Overcome Your Fear of Judgment from the Self-Help Doc. Are you truly living the life you've always dreamed of? Or do past traumas hold you back from achieving your fullest potential? You're not alone. Discover the support and guidance you need on the Redhead Reveal podcast with Jen Pinkerton. Jen Pinkerton is a seasoned psychotherapist, coach, and sexologist. She's on a mission to foster deeper connections in your relationships. She explores the intricate worlds of attachment, inner child work, and trauma, revealing their profound impact on our well-being and our ability to flourish. Join the movement towards healing, understanding, and thriving in your personal and professional relationships. Don't let another day pass you by, leaving you feeling disconnected. Add Redhead Reveal with Jen Pinkerton to your podcast playlist right now. Available on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Share the podcast on all your social media so your friends can tune in too. Your journey to a more connected and fulfilled life starts right now. Redhead Reveal on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Parents, grandparents, and teachers. From author Megan Newton comes a children's book that will become a heartwarming addition to your child's story time. Tractors, Tractors Everywhere. Available on Amazon. And Tractors Everywhere, your little one will be immersed in the serene beauty of farm life through the vibrant pages of this must-read children's book. Filled with charming illustrations and an engaging narrative, Tractors Everywhere invites you and your loved ones to spend a delightful day on the farm, exploring the wonders of nature and the joy of tractors. Every page is a new adventure filled with colorful tractors, friendly farm animals, and even a hidden chicken to find. Tractors Everywhere gives a glimpse into the enchanting world of farm living with lessons of life, joy, and curiosity. Perfect for young readers and families alike. Tractors Everywhere is a gentle reminder of the simple pleasures in life. With a story that flows as smoothly as a tractor in the fields, Tractors Everywhere will become a beloved classic, cherished, and read aloud countless times. Tractors Everywhere from author Megan Newton is available on Amazon. Order your copy today and let the journey begin.
You are listening to The Brian Craig Show podcast, broadcasting from sunny South Florida. Brian is joined by his wife and co-host, Kathy. Follow Brian on social media at BrianCraigShow.com. And now, Brian and Kathy.
We are back. Carrie Lake today. Listen to this. Carrie Lake said yesterday that if Trump were reelected, he would quickly wrap up the war between Russia and Ukraine and Israel and Hamas. Mm-hmm. Well, he said that. And, and he's, this is, I've explained this to you guys before. This is how Donald Trump handles things to get these conflicts going. All these guys in all these countries, especially the ones that, you have dictator like Russia or Hamas or creeps like you got running Ukraine, all they care about is money. So he gets them where it hurts. That's right. And Russia,
you got to cut off the money source. Yeah, that's all you got to do.
Exactly. He will, for example, drop the gas prices in this country so much that the Muslim world, the OPEC nations, which includes Venezuela, but the OPEC nations and Russia are losing $1 quadrillion on oil because he brings the gas prices down so much like he did before. The OPEC nations are funding Hamas, right? And Russia's a big oil producer. They don't want that, all right? And the wars will be over in a millisecond. That's all these people care about. I told you that's how he got together with Kim Jong-un. It was Kim Jong-un wants to be rich. Kim Jong-un is like a beggar from China. China owns him. And he's got to beg them for everything he has. He would like to be rich independently from China. And Donald Trump tells him how he can do that for him. So then Kim Jong-un talks to him. I mean, that's just the way he gets things done. And Carrie Lake, as always, is right.
I want to know if people, you did something today. You were driving home from a meeting you had, and you saw at this car dealership these beautiful pickup trucks. And we've never owned a pickup. Well, you had a pickup truck when we first started dating.
Well, I had a vehicle.
Yeah. And you saw but we've never owned a pickup truck, and you saw these beautiful pickup trucks, and you said the price on the trucks was like under $12,000.
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, yeah, well.
So you had to stop and check it out.
Yeah, well, let me tell you what happened, okay?
It's very interesting.
I had a pickup truck when Kathy and I first met. It was my uncle's pickup truck that he gave me. I didn't have to pay for it. It was a Chevy S10. But anyway, yeah, I remember that car. It was not a bad car. So I kind of been thinking I need a new car. Okay, Kathy's got a car, but
our car's like 13 years old.
Our daughter is turning 25 years old this month, right? She's going to turn 25 this month. We bought our car when our daughter was in 5th grade. My car, I mean. We bought my car when our daughter was in 5th grade, and she's 25 years old this month. So it's
a good car. It's still good, but I
love my car, and I have been thinking because I do need a new vehicle. I've been thinking of getting a pickup truck,
right?
Because I'd like to have a truck because we don't need like a big family car anymore because it's just the two of us. Our daughter comes and visits every few months. We don't need the big car. And I was thinking about a pickup truck, And I'd like to get a pickup truck that has like a back seat in it. And the reason I'd like to have a pickup truck is because I'm tired of having to have somebody help me when I buy something at Lowe's or something. I can't, because I don't have a car that it'll fit. In fact, my
pickup trucks are better than SUVs for hauling because you don't have to have the roof, and you could put a lot of stuff in there, mattresses and furniture.
It's very difficult, and I definitely need a car. And I also would like to have it because I could put my Maga scooter, my Vespa, in the back of the truck
and take
it out of town and stuff.
Right.
So so anyway, I'm driving down the road today, and I passed this Dodge dealership, and they had these prices on the trucks. They had Dodge Rams out front, and it's a new and used car dealer. And I saw the most expensive one was $12,800, and they had one as low as like $11,800.
Yeah, so you called me up. You're like, I got to see what this.
I said I got to stop there, and I had a meeting I had to go to, so I went to the meeting, and I stopped by. On the way, and I told Kathy, I said, I told you this. My guess is that truck, the one that's like $12,000, it's going to have 285,000 miles on it or something. It's gonna be like
you assumed it was a used
a high mileage, a very high mileage vehicle. So I get to the car dealership and I park and I go to the lot to look at these trucks, and I was in shock that not one salesman came out to talk to me or look at me or anything. Yep. And when I got up to the trucks, they had created really an optical illusion on the price. And so when I was driving down the road to get there, you see the price, $11,600, $12,300, and they were in these big numbers on the side of the vehicle, on the passenger side of the vehicle, and they're on the highway. And I was like, well, okay, let me just check this out. And I was thinking to myself, well, I'm really only thinking of a pickup truck to drive, not too far. I'm not thinking about driving to New York in it. I don't think I would drive more than a couple hours from the house in it. So I'm thinking to myself, if it is a high mileage vehicle, would it be worth spending $10,000? So anyway, I get up there. They created an optical illusion.
Yeah.
Because I looked at these prices when I drove by and I didn't see this. They have the price, and then they have some very small letters that you can't see from the road above the price. It says save. So the price was what the dealer was saving me on these vehicles, right? Saving me $11,800, saving me $12,300.
Very sneaky.
And so I look at the sticker.
They got you to pull over and look.
And I got out of there right quick because this was a Dodge Ram, and a red Dodge Ram, and I looked in the window at the sticker price, and sticker shock does not even begin. It was $59,000 in change. It was just under
that's insane
$60,000. It was a 4-door Dodge Ram, and I looked in the window. It wasn't even all that special. I thought it was a used car. Okay,
I want to know if you guys has anybody
$60,000.
I told Brian we can't buy a car till Trump's in office again.
No.
And I said it's just we bought my car. We had to because our other car was literally 20 years old.
Yeah, mine, the one I'm driving.
Yeah, and it was an Explorer, and it was one that.
Oh no, my Explorer! I forgot. Yes,
yeah,
I did.
That your stepdad owned. We got it after he passed away.
The car I was driving before that was a 20-year-old
and then we had the Kia,
Explorer,
which we still have. So then I'm like, we got to get a new car. So I wanted a Mini Cooper. That's my favorite kind of car. So we have a really cute Mini Cooper. And we bought this during the pandemic when Trump was in office still, and we got a very good deal.
Yeah.
And we got it at the right time.
Yeah.
Because 6 months after this is when they started adding on this market value BS.
Okay.
To the cars.
So I want
to know if you guys have bought a car lately. I mean, $60,000 for a pickup is insane to me.
So this is what they're doing. Okay. Now, if you guys have forgotten what the market value is, when the auto industry got crazy greedy during the COVID period.
Yeah.
And if you went to a dealer and you looked at the window sticker, there was a second sticker next to the window sticker. And it would give you the sticker price plus the market value price, which is how much that car is worth in the market. And then they give you the total price. And the cars are worth the market value is thousands of dollars above
BS they came up with.
Sticker price.
Right.
Thousands of dollars above sticker price. So with these pickup trucks I was looking at today, the savings was they got the sticker price, then they've got the market value price, and the savings is what they're taking off the market value price. So
and it's still $60,000.
So this car's sticker price is $60,000, but with the market value price, it's like $70,000.
That's crazy.
And I'm thinking to myself, who is buying new cars today? And so
this is their way of not charging you that market value bullshit thing, but they work it in a way where they're doing you a favor. It's a marketing ploy. Well, we're not going to charge you this marketing thing. We're going to save you that, but you still got to spend $60,000.
Here's the thing, okay?
They think people are stupid.
You've got to have reliable transportation. So, sometimes you have no choice but to buy a car.
Especially down here.
And this pricing that I saw today on these Dodge trucks is not unusual. I know car prices have gone through the roof. I watch a lot of guys on YouTube that have YouTube channels about the auto market, and they go to car lots and show how much the cars are, even at like CarMax. And I've seen them go to CarMax lots, and there's cars that are $50,000 plus that are just regular cars. I mean, we're talking about Ford Explorers, Dodge Rams.
That is insane.
We're not talking about, a Porsche Cayenne.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
And so, I believe we're at the beginning of the end of car dealerships as we know it. And for people that don't think that's possible, look at all the businesses in our lifetime we lost. There's no more record stores, right? Yeah. There's no more bookstores to speak of.
Once Jeff Bezos gets into the car business, which I think is going to happen, they're done. Because what he might do, what he should do, and it would probably save a lot of money, is work with companies directly like Ford or Toyota and have them shipped directly from the factory to you, and then you get your financing through Amazon. And I could see that happening with new cars.
Car dealers out of business.
And because the amount of money that they are charging, like if we bought our Mini Cooper now, it would probably be almost double what we paid
double
for
because
it. And we paid a decent price.
When I go to
the double.
When I go to the dealer for maintenance, I walk through the showroom and I'm like, oh my goodness. So what I'd like to ask you guys, and you can let me know in the comments, because people got to have cars,
right.
and and the kind of car you have depends on a lot of things, but you do have to have reliable transportation. I got to go to work. You have health issues, so you got to have reliable transportation. I'm not, so what are your thoughts? I mean, how much is a Dodge Ram pickup worth? And that's kind of a regular car, like a man's work vehicle.
Have any of you bought a car during the time Biden's been president? I mean,
during Biden, yeah.
Or have you been waiting?
Or do you feel like you've gotten ripped off? I mean, what is going on with the car market? And the cars are so overpriced.
It's crazy.
If you go to buy just a regular SUV, you're talking these days. Now, maybe this is exclusive to Florida, but not from what I see on YouTube. You're talking about $50,000 or more.
You told me that most car dealerships lease the cars.
No. The car deal. Most car dealerships, the dealership typically does not own the cars on their lot.
Right.
They're leasing them.
Right.
They have to pay. They have to pay a payment on each car on their lot every month, which vary hundreds of dollars.
I wonder if these dealerships, because you said there was nobody there, and it was like 11 o'clock,
including
in the
no
morning.
salesman.
I wonder how these dealers. This is a big dealership. They're on TV all the time. They have big commercials down here, like every 5 minutes. I wonder how they're staying afloat. Are they leasing a lot of cars?
I don't know.
And that's how they're staying afloat?
But I know this, that no one, unless they absolutely had to, would pay $50,000 for a Dodge Ram.
60.
Or $60,000. Yeah, exactly.
That's
$60,000.
Unless they're stupid.
Or $50,000 plus for a Ford Explorer. Not even an Expedition, by the way. I'm not even saying an Expedition's worth that. But for an Explorer?
It's crazy.
So I fortunately, we don't have to buy a car today. But I'm really dreading when that day comes. So you guys let us know, because I know you guys in this, you have cars, right?
Yeah, I mean, our car's 13, 14 years old, or 15. We're going to have to get a car within the next 3 years.
So I would like to know where your mind is so far as the car price. I know it's not the typical thing we would talk about on the program, but that's like that is one, inflation, this Biden inflation we're dealing with. Inflation is a tax.
Yeah.
It makes the cost of everything in your life go not just up, it goes way up. And
this market value is like a tax. It's ridiculous.
I saw a guy on YouTube. This was on a car channel. It was something else, and he needed a work truck, a pickup truck, and he had this problem that the trucks were $50,000 or more. So he went and bought like a 1980 something old beat up pickup truck for like $10,000 cash. And he says it's not as reliable, but he says even if I have to put a new engine in it, it's less than that.
You could probably buy an old car and you're right. And just put a new engine in.
A rebuilt engine.
And end up spending a hell of a lot less money. It's crazy.
And I don't want you guys to think I don't think I'm sounding like I'm cheap or something on the cars, but the price of new vehicles is so far and above what they're worth and what working people can afford.
Do you guys?
That's like buying a house.
A house in the 70s.
No. What I mean by a house is when you buy a house, you put down minimally about maybe 20%.
20%, yeah.
When people are buying cars at these prices, they have when I say it's like buying a house, they have car payments that are as much as mortgage payments.
Absolutely.
You understand what I mean?
Yeah, if you have a $60,000, and they don't even negotiate with you anymore.
No.
Like they did in the
price
old days.
Is the price.
So if you have a $60,000 car,
or even $50,000,
and the interest rates are high now, and you put $10,000 down if you're lucky.
Who puts $10,000 down on a car? Not many people.
Say $5,000. You got to finance $55,000 with the interest. I mean, you're talking $800 to $1,000 a month
over
car
$1,000
payment, maybe
over $1,000.
You're right. That's like a mortgage for some people. But I'd like to know if you guys have bought a car. Do you lease a car? There's people in my family that always lease, and they just go from one lease to the next. They have a 3-year lease, and if you do that, from what I'm told, you don't have to put another down payment. You just trade it.
Well, whatever you owe on the lease when they go over the car, they roll it into the payment on the next car.
So I know there's people in my family that just lease their cars, and every 3 years they get a new car. I think we leased once, and I didn't like it.
Our first Mini Cooper we leased, and I totaled it. Remember?
Yeah. Well, you didn't. Somebody hit you.
Yeah.
So do you guys, have you bought a car lately? Do you lease your car? What's the story? Are you waiting to buy a new car? I personally told Brian, I said, well, we'll have to just hope our Kia hangs in there another few years.
Kathy, if these prices don't go down, I'm going to have to when we need a new car, I'm going to have to be getting around on the MAGA scooter, the Vespa, everywhere I go.
It's crazy.
Everywhere I go, I'm going to be like, on my Vespa.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, listen, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brian Craig, always joined by my wife and co-host Kathy. We will talk to you next time.